Welcome to Between the Business Cards, a podcast that helps business professionals take their network and sales skills to the next level. And now, here are your hosts, Martina Niemeyer and Brandon Suba.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to Between the Business Cards. I'm Brandon Suba with Valley Construction.
And I'm Martina Niemeyer with Centersphere.
And we're here to give you tips, tricks, and all the fun stuff that we've experienced in the networking world to hopefully make your networking, your referrals experience just a little bit better. And today, it's really off the rails, ladies and gentlemen, and I think we're going to say that a couple times. So, again, we talk about this all the time. Martina and I basically put all these ideas into a spreadsheet, and then when it's time to record, we pull out a couple ideas and we make show of it.
Yeah.
And this one, I think I came from a lunch. And I was like, Martina, we got to get this on the list. I go, dealing with food in your teeth when you're having a professional business lunch. And she looked at me like, I don't think that's an episode. And I said, well, put it on the list just in case. And
we did.
And we're doing it.
Yeah.
We're doing the show today.
We did have to build what that was
Correct.
around it. We couldn't just do a show on Brandon sitting and staring at somebody's food in their teeth.
I specifically said, I'm like, this is just going to be a short snippet one, but I think we actually do have pretty much a full episode.
We built it out.
With it.
We did it.
So what we translated it to is the awkward moments of networking, more personal than like what we've seen. Well, I guess we are going to talk about other people and their issues that they have. But here's the deal. we are all human. Okay, we've all had a booger in our nose. We've all had our flies down.
You didn't make the list.
The booger? Oh, that's up here, up in the old noggin. But we've all had these. Okay, let's do the show, and at the end, let's decide: is it completely okay and human to just tell people? Don't answer it now.
Okay.
Let's go through, and then you guys can comment on what you think. How you feel about that. So check us out on the YouTube page if you want to watch. I think we're going to be pretty animated on this one, the Centersphere YouTube page. Otherwise, thank you so much for listening on whatever streaming device you have. So I will start with the food and the tea.
Okay.
So this one happens to me all the time. Oh, and I don't know why, because I am even trying to order food where I don't think it's going to happen. But this is the piece of chicken that got stuck in your teeth.
Oh, wait. This is you having food in your teeth.
Yes.
Oh, I thought you were watching someone and feeling awkward.
But, well, no, I feel awkward because of what I think I look like.
Oh.
Trying to dig out a piece out of my tooth with my tongue when I'm listening. And then I'm not even listening because I'm more worried about how stupid I look trying to get this piece of chicken out. But I'm so hyper-focused on it now, and it's all I can focus on. So here's my run of thought that I've had. Probably the most human thing, and everybody listening is like, Brandon, this is what 90% of the population would do. You excuse yourself, and you go pick it out of your teeth. Yeah.
That seems, yeah.
Well, I don't understand this concept.
Okay.
And I will tell you, there was one time we were out at my wife's family's, and they lived out on a farm.
Okay.
And we had watermelon, chicken, the brats, everything. Like a traditional kind of grill out type lunch out at the farm, right?
Delicious.
And they rolled out a cafeteria table like from a school, which of course they got from one of the schools that was remodeling. And that's what we were sitting on to eat. So we're sitting in a cafeteria table in the middle of their huge lawn eating watermelon.
Okay.
And we're spitting the seeds. Okay, this is completely accepted that we are spitting the seeds. Nobody says boo about it. I'm teaching the kids how to do it. And we have corn on the cob, and we finish, and I get floss, and I floss my teeth at the table. I had one of her cousins call me out on it.
Well, I mean,
I can spit watermelon, but I can't floss my... No, I disagree with this.
I think everybody has their different lines. I'm gonna say everybody has their different lines because I think for some people they'd be like, "Wow, that's a bathroom activity." That's nice. And then for other people, they're like you, where they're like, "Well, we just did this, and this seems to be okay too."
Yes.
So
So traumatized. I was traumatized
Wow.
by this. So I think that's why I'm so scared.
We're gonna go with a lowercase t on that.
Look, you choose whichever trauma I should have on this one. But that's why I think I'm so traumatized with this, is because after that, I'm like, I don't know what to do anymore. I don't know what to do with my hands. I don't know what's okay anymore. So the stuff in my teeth scares the bejesus out of me. So please, if you have something in your teeth, I guess just excuse yourself. I don't know. But it is rude to like really pick at it, right? Like, would that be weird
well,
for you?
That'd be kind of strange. I'd be like, do you need a minute?
And then, so I should just take the minute.
Probably.
I'm going to test this next time. I know it's going to happen.
Because, you don't have to go in the premise of like, hey, this is what I'm doing. Excuse me for a minute.
Oh, I'm sorry. You're telling me I don't need to explain what I'm doing?
You don't.
I'm not very good at that. Maybe that's the problem. Okay, so this is just the first of many here. So that's what sparked this idea, the awkward moments. Hey, I hope you've handled it well in life and you didn't have to tell everybody what was going on. If you've ever had lunch with me and it looks like my tongue is freaking out, it's probably because I had something stuck in my teeth. And I will make a vow, next time this happens, I will excuse myself.
Well, just try it and see what you feel like.
I'm going to, and then I'll let everyone know how it went. All right, you get the next one.
All right. So the next one we have written down is when someone stands up to speak. And in a lot of our chapters, we have people who stand up to even do their 30-second introduction. Some people have just come from getting ready in the morning. And some people, it's after lunchtime or whatever that happens to look like. Anyway, the zipper being down.
Yep.
And I have experienced this as a witness. I've probably experienced it as a person too, and I just don't remember the moments.
I've done it.
Okay. But I have, there's just things that happen, right? So in my personal opinion, I would really love it if someone would tell me. So I would probably subtly, I'm not going to if I'm across the room, I'm not going to be like, hey, Bob, right? But if I'm next to the person, hey, they would probably just appreciate that. I would appreciate it. So I kind of go on that standpoint of would I like somebody to tell me?
If you could text them, I think that's the best way. Although you shouldn't be on your phone. But just a simple little text, your zipper's down, FYI. I think that's a good subtle way to do it.
Yes.
I did pass a note one time because I was a couple down, so I kind of slid a note down. I made it look like a referral slip and I sent it down.
There you go.
Just to let them know. So it's just one of those things. It happens to all of us. We're all humans. You know what's really hard? Tucking in a suit and having to tuck in your shirt all the time. That's when it gets you.
Okay.
That's when it's happened to me. Okay. And I have actually done a full presentation in front of a whole crowd. And as I got off the stage, or as I sat back down or whatever, I did notice that my fly was down. I'm like, oh, that's cool. That's cool. Just leaving that with everybody today.
Well, maybe you were so animated no one noticed.
Actually, I think it's the opposite. I'm worried I was so animated that I probably did squats or something. And yeah, I don't know. See, I knew this was going to be a fun episode. Okay, I'm going to take another one.
Okay.
Or the next one. You have a conflict with another member and you don't know it. This I have a specific one. So it was a visitor day event.
Sure.
And somebody came very late, and of course I had a seat open. So I was like, "Oh, just come sit by me. That'll be great." Well, it was a real estate agent, and you can imagine there was already a real estate agent in the group, and so I was able to catch this because she talked to me, which again, not the best thing to do when you come late into a meeting.
Sure.
But she was talking. I was like, "Hey, what is your profession, by the way?" And she goes, "Oh, I'm a real estate agent." I was like, "Hey, just want to let you know there's a real estate agent in the group." And she goes, "I know, they invited me." And then she stood up and she just wailed on her agency and all of this. And so, it wasn't even that big of an awkward moment because she knew. But I don't think the other agent knew that was going to happen.
Yeah, and I've had it happen that people don't necessarily do a search for an opening in their industry, or they go into a long thing. I've even had it happen right after, maybe 2 or 3 people after the conflicting industry has spoken. And they've said, for example, I'm the insurance agent in the room, blah, blah, blah. This is my spiel, right? And then the next person goes, and the next person goes, and then here we are to this person who apparently wasn't listening or doesn't know the general etiquette of you can introduce yourself, you can say, "I love to meet you. You obviously have an insurance agent in this room that you will refer to," but instead it was I could take care of your needs. Maybe didn't say better, but it kind of almost felt it felt strange. Mm-hmm. And I know that it's difficult for our leaders when that happens too, because they are kind of ooh, okay, and then you have people who start giving random testimonials because they're trying to diffuse and show who has
It is.
Yep, it's a feeling.
For all those loyal members, it happens. It
does.
Going to happen. If you have a common seat, it's definitely going to happen.
Yeah.
It's even more funny when it's an uncommon seat. And you're like, how did you get in one group? Why are you doing this?
How did that happen?
There's so many other options.
Right.
But yes, the best thing to do is trust your relationships in the group. I did have to finally tell somebody this back in the day. If you truly lose business because one visitor came and talked about the same industry you're in and they're using them instead of you, it wasn't them visiting that hurt your relationship. There's something else going on. It might be time maybe to move on or find a new group, or you need to build some credibility. But for the most part, we're all trying to figure out this networking thing day by day, especially people just getting into it new. It should not be intentional. And if it is, that should reek like garlic and everybody's going to know.
Yeah.
Everybody's going to know.
Yep. All right. You got the next one?
Yeah. Because we did.
We did.
Yep. We did an episode touching on the unwelcome topics irrelevant to business.
Yeah.
I was actually pretty proud that that's how I got that worded. Yeah. This is a tough one. And we did an episode on this, so we're just throwing it into the awkward moment episode here that we're doing. But this is when people get off on a politic run, or they're sharing things about their life that aren't really relevant to the group or anything. This does happen. I always feel worse when it's in a one-to-one setting, because I feel you're more obligated to kind of deal with that.
Sure.
But what I will tell you is you are going to gain more credibility by either letting them know this is just not a topic you'd like to talk about, or letting them speak. This is what I do. Don't love conflict. I'll let them speak and I'll shake my head yes, and I'll just listen, but then I don't have a rebuttal.
Yeah, and that's kind of the route I go to. I try to err on the side of grace, where it's just kind of like, you're human, you're allowed to exist with your own opinions in your own spaces, and some people feel the need to talk about those things a lot. And some people have kind of narrowed it in on, I talk about business when I'm in business meetings and things like that. And like you said, we did a whole episode on this, so we're not going to stay on this very long, but that can be really awkward. And if you're noticing that it's making somebody awkward or something like that, trying to change topics can be really good. Trying to just kind of get out of that situation with as much grace as you possibly can. And if you really have to, it's just to stop it where it's at and move forward and say, hey, I think we're going to agree to disagree on this situation. So let's move on to business.
Yeah.
So
and for those of you that, if you feel you are that person that tends to get into the unnecessary or the unwelcome topics, I will tell you, it can hurt your credibility, and it can hurt getting referrals down the road. Because if I'm not comfortable with what has happened, I'm not going to be 100% comfortable sending business your way, because I'm worried you're going to do the same thing to them.
And I would also say, if you've caught yourself doing this, or if you think you maybe have done this, I would say it actually helps your credibility to just almost call yourself out to that person individually and say, hey, I realize that probably made you uncomfortable. I'm sorry. We'll keep it business from here on out. I think that can actually do a lot.
Yeah, that absolutely happins, and good for them.
Sure.
You get the last one, because I haven't had to deal with that for a while.
Thanks. So sometimes we're in a group and it's going, and they've got a relationship, they've got a rapport, right? And then, as much as the leader's trying, off the rails it goes, and it's in a different zone, and they got to bring them back in, and that can be kind of awkward, especially if you're a guest in the group. You don't get that rapport. They think, the group can think it's hilarious, but you're like, I am a fish out of water on this. I am not sure what I am dealing with. And so for those leaders and things like that, just know we know that you are doing your best to keep everybody on track. It can be a little awkward when things kind of go a little haywire, but again, we're all human. And I think that's really what this whole episode boils down to, is like giving a lot of grace, understanding that we're human, and treating people the way that you'd like to be treated in those same situations. If you were sitting on the other side of the coin there, what do you want somebody to do for you in that situation? And if you want them to say nothing, well, then maybe you're the person that says nothing, right? But if you want them to tell you so you don't walk into the next 3 meetings with food in your teeth, then that's a great thing for them to do. So.
For the leaders on that last one, standing up usually diffuses, because you're making a gesture that maybe we should stop, like, look at the president. Why are they standing? What's going on? What we got tomorrow? And the last thing I'm going to share on that, and this was in my early networking days, so I'm glad this happened. But the group I was in, there were three guys, us guys. There were three of us, sure. And we were the funniest guys in the room, as that always happens. Mm-hmm. And there was one day we had no visitors. It was just one sub, and she subbed all the time. So I think we kind of just made it our meeting, right? Mm-hmm. And at the end, the sub who had been there many times, she goes, I have to share this. If I was a visitor today, I would not join this group. And she goes, and it's because of the three guys in the corner. You guys were a little rowdy today. And I'm glad I heard that in my earlier days, because after that, I learned the maturity that if I found to be in that group again, I would actually shut it down, because I was thinking about my credibility with the other people. So, you may not have a sub tell you that you gotta shape up, but I'm here to tell you, it does get old.
Yep.
And the visitors, if you want to grow your group or if you want to build that culture, it helps to have everyone included.
Yeah, absolutely. I agree, 100%.
All right, well, I hope that was awkward enough for you. If you have any other awkward situations that you want to share, do not use names. Do not use any personal stories, or don't get personal with it, but we would love to hear just maybe some of that awkward. Maybe your fly was down once, or maybe you understand my issue with food in your teeth, or maybe somebody flossed at a table and you got highly offended, even though you were out on a farm and spitting watermelon seeds. It's fine. Which happens so often in networking. So I'm sure that was their networking experience. Oh, man. Well, please share, like, comment. We always like to hear from you guys, and we want to make this podcast for you. We want to make it for your experiences to help you out there in the wild, wild world of networking. So with that, we'll talk to you on a future podcast. Have a great day.